Hey Orchestra, in this video we're going to talk about a technique called tunneling. Tunneling is where you need to play a bunch of notes on your D string, and then maybe you need to switch to open A for just a note or two, and then come right back down to your D string. This can be a little bit tricky when you're a beginner, especially if you're having a hard time holding your instrument on your shoulder. So I want you to really make sure that you feel comfortable here and that you're not bending your wrist and your fingers can stay nice and round. That's required to be able to do this tunneling technique. So to make a tunnel with my fingers, let me see if I can angle myself so you can see. Do you see how my fingers are nice and tall and round? And I can actually look right down my A string and see that my fingers are on the D string and they're not touching my A string at all. So I have 3 fingers down for G. You could do this with any D string note. I'm going to play my G, and then I'm going to play my open A, but I don't have to move any of these fingers because they're not touching the A string. So I can play G and then switch to open A without moving these fingers. I can also do that with F sharp. So I've got 2 fingers down for F sharp, and I can play my F sharp on the D string and then play my open A without moving my left hand. I can do that with E also, 1 finger. And obviously it's really easy to do that with open D and open A. So tunneling can make you a lot faster if you have to play a bunch of D string notes and then just A and go right back. It means that you have less motion that you have to do. It is also very tricky, and depending on the size of your fingers and the size of your instrument, it just might not be something that's totally possible for you right now. So if you try this and you're really struggling, then what I want you to do is just barely lift your fingers. So let's say I needed to play G and A. I'm going to play G and then just barely lift them to play A and then come right back. Okay, so 2 ways you can do it. You can actually do the tunnel where you keep the fingers down, or you can just do barely lifting your fingers off the D string when you need to switch. To practice this, we're going to be on packet page 9. It says challenge time at the top, and it has 5 different challenges, and they all require you to switch from your D string notes to your open A and come back down. So we're going to try a couple of these together, and then I want you to try this whole page. Starting with number 1, we're going to start on open D and then A, and then we're going to use E and then A, and then F sharp and then A, and then back to E. We're going to try this together. You might want to go by yourself, like pause the video, practice it at your own pace, and then when you're ready, you can try it with me. Okay, I've got my instrument all set up. I'm going to make sure my fingers are really tall and nice and round. They're not flat and squashy, just tall fingertips. And let's try number 1 together. Ready, set, go. D, D, A, E, E, A, F sharp, F sharp, A, E, E, A. So what I was doing that whole time was leaving my D string fingers down. Once I put down my E, I never picked it up. Same thing for F sharp until I had to switch back to E. If that's too tricky for you, if you can't get the tunnel, then just barely lift up when you switch to A. All right, we're going to do the same thing for song number 2. Again, you should probably practice this at your own speed, and then you can try it with me. Song number 2 starts with G down. So let's get our 3 fingers set. Check down your A string because that 3rd finger tends to want to touch the A string. Make sure you have no fingers touching, or if they are touching, no big deal, just lift them slightly when we go for A. Here's song number 2. Ready, set, go. G, G, A, F sharp, A, E, E, A, D, If you can get those 2 songs, you are doing amazing, and you can try to practice song number 3, 4, and 5. If you're having a hard time with this, don't stress out about it. It's kind of a difficult technique, and then I'll just check on you in class and see how you're doing. If you're ready, you can try one song out of the book. That would be song number 20, Good King Wenceslas. I believe that's our next achievement song. So this one requires the tunneling because it switches from G to A and goes right back to G. If you can leave your G fingers down and just switch to A, perfect. If you can't, just lift them up, but lift them as little as possible. So go ahead and open up your book to page 9 and find song number 20, and we're gonna go over the notes for that song. So it starts on G. Let's take a look at our fingers. I'm gonna have 3 fingers down for G, and then I'm not gonna lift them. I'm just gonna move my pizzicato finger over to my A string. So it goes G, 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 A, G, G, D. When we get to open D, we do have to lift our fingers. And then after the rest, it's 1 finger for E, D, E, F sharp, G, rest, G. If you're ready, let's try playing it together. You can also pause the video and practice it nice and slow. This song repeats, so we're gonna play it twice. Get your G finger set up. If you're gonna try the tunnel, make sure they're not bumping into your A string, and let's play the song. Ready, set, go. G, 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 A, G, G, D, rest, E, D, E, F sharp, G, rest, G, repeat. G, 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 A, G, G, D, rest, E, D, E, F sharp, G, rest, G. All right, take your time with this song. It can be a little bit tricky, especially if you're trying that tunnel part. And even when you're doing the E, D, E, F sharp, G part, make sure you really know which finger is E, which one's D, which one's F sharp, all those fingers. There's one more secret I'm gonna tell you guys about, and that's song number 22. It's called Essential Elements Quiz Lightly Row. This is what we call a rare achievement. You do not have to practice this song, but it's like an extra bonus. The achievement sticker for this one even looks a little bit different. It's kind of special. So this is only for people who want to go the extra mile. If you want a little bit of extra practice, practice number 22 also, and then you can do both number 20 for your regular achievement and 22 for a rare achievement. All right, have fun practicing.